Excitement? Well, we got that in abundance as this Pro Bowl is underway from Orlando, Florida. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The NFC offense taking the field, being led in blue by the NFL's all-time passing leader. 12th Pro Bowl nomination for the great QB from New Orleans, Drew Brees.
And you and I both know that this is not easy for him. It's fun to play football at any time, but you know he'd rather be preparing for the Super Bowl and still trying to get that missed call out of his head that may have prevented his Saints from getting there.
The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage. Here's the cream of the crop offensively, the starting unit for the NFC.
And coming off the season which saw him set career highs across the board is tight end Zach Ertz, who's been around for a little while, but continues to improve in every facet. In fact, last year, he set the record for catches in a season by a tight end with 116, and he thinks that he can match that number or surpass it this season.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Brees to throw. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time. For Drew Brees, this his 12th Pro Bowl nomination. Though he hasn't played all 12 years, but still, what a career and what a season. And to do it at this age, unbelievable.
Not too bad for a guy who turned 40 the week leading up to the NFC Championship game. He keeps himself in such superb physical condition and still loves everything that goes along with football. He may play till he's 60.
From midfield, here's Brees. He's going to fire one deep over the middle, and that is incomplete.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
On 3rd and long, it's Brees. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Well, you know, it's hard for some of these guys to get on the same page because they've only been practicing together for a week, but these two, I think they're pretty familiar.
I would say so, right? You go back to OTAs.
Now, a loose football. The ball comes out, and that's picked up by the AFC. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So they tried it. Not only did they not get the first, they fumbled it away.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it went from bad to worse, but I know that everyone's going to pile in on the call and say, well, what are you doing? Why would you go for it there? I think that teams that are convinced that they feel pretty good about their game plan, what they want to get done that day, go for it. Give it a try. Hey, let's see if your defense can rescue them a little bit. Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage, it'll be back at the 36. That'll set him back with a loss of 3. On the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Mike.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. And this is going to be incomplete.
Now that's a great opening series defensively. You force what should be a 3-and-out on your opening possession.
And great coverage there on 3rd down to force the incompletion to set up 4th. On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. And they got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
Breeze again here on 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Julio Jones, his Pro Bowl receiver, and it's 3rd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they got a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, the pressure gets home, and the AFC comes up with a sack. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. You change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
The AFC offensive unit getting set to take over. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They go play fake. Mahomes. Blitz coming, and down he goes. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Throwing now is Mahomes. Try to lay one up deep. And that is caught for an AFC touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 47 yards. And the AFC has taken the early lead. So the AFC, they won the Pro Bowl the last couple of seasons and off to another good start here.
Yeah, how about that? The first touchdown of this game, how many more do we expect to see?
Hopefully a lot. I want offense in this ball game.
I don't think there's any question about it. Rarely do you get defensive struggles in the Pro Bowl.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Breeze and the NFC come up now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Charles, this the 2019 Pro Bowl. The AFC's won both games that have been played here in Orlando since they moved it here. Both have been competitive, 20-13 2 seasons ago, and the last year in 2018 it was 24-23 the final.
Yeah, and 2 years ago, Travis Kelce, Lorenzo Alexander were the game MVPs, offense and defense respectively. And then last year, Delaney Walker of the Titans, their tight end, he won it on offense, and Von Miller of the Broncos won it on defense.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Breeze. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The AFC offense making their way back out, and they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch, counter punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive.
You got nothing left. You got nothing.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. He's going to float this one deep right. He's got it at the 15. And they do finally get him at the 12. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Now the ball comes loose, and it's scooped up by the NFC. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. The 305-pound defensive end, Jarrell Casey, gets the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Hey, easy. We want this. Here we go.
On 2nd down, here's Breeze. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Shotgun now for Breeze. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they time it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot it.
51 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this. Mahomes now to throw. And Hill with it over the middle. And all the way in for the touchdown. Tyreek Hill with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the AFC strikes quickly there for 6. Well, we saw that tandem hook up quite a few times during the regular season, didn't we?
We certainly did, and it continues now in the Pro Bowl. You have to know that even if they didn't consciously plan it, you do try and find guys you're familiar with in a game like this.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The NFC offense heading back onto the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A very solid gain of 27.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Breeze, one of the best ever in these situations as he's trying to get his guys set. Breeze now to throw. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Mahomes to throw. And complete right side to Cook. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Now the AFC going to take a timeout. It's their second as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And he finds his Chiefs teammate, Travis Kelce. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Trying to get it to Landry there, and it'll bring up 3rd down. The AFC thus far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Mahomes got his man complete over the middle. That's Hopkins. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This is a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And Myers able to knock it through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0.
Well, no surprise there. Extremely reliable during the regular season. Bailed his team out time and again. Knocks another one through, this time in the Pro Bowl.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. So we're at halftime of the 2019 Pro. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The AFC offense now set to start this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. That's Luke Kuechly with a sack.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
On second down now, it's Connor, and he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. A big gain of 31 on third down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. And he was brought down by the Bears safety, Eddie Jackson.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be fourth down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. Here's Gurley, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Up to make the stop, the Jets safety Jamal Adams. We mentioned the history of this game, the Pro Bowl. Of course, for many folks our age, the Pro Bowl always meant a trip to Hawaii. You know, they held it there from 80 till 09, and again for a handful of years in this decade before the last 3 being here in Orlando.
And there's something to be said, no doubt about it, for getting to go to Hawaii. Imagine being named a Pro Bowler, then going home and telling your family.
And Gurley fumbled it. Gurley fumbles the football. It's loose. And that's picked up by the AFC. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
When you think about the history of this Pro Bowl game, there was an all-star game going all the way back to 1939, but it officially became called the Pro Bowl in, I think, 1951.
You're exactly right, and that game was played out in L.A. in the same stadium where the L.A. Rams currently play. And back then they split it into conferences, the American Conference versus the National Conference. The American Conference won 28-27. MVP of the game, quarterback Otto Graham. Nickname, Automatic.
False start, offense.
Well, this O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. Allen hit. He lost the football. And it's scooped up by the NFC. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. It's the NFC with the lead and the football as we start the fourth. Now Breeze throwing on second down. And he will find his Saints teammate Michael Thomas complete. Breeze to his Saints teammate Thomas for the NFC first. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
The Pro Bowl tight end Zach Ertz, the intended target. That'll bring up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And he coughed it up. And that's picked up by the AFC. The 20. And he is going to bring this one back. A fumble return for an AFC touchdown. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching it.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
Myers connects on the PAT. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The offense for the NFC back out there. And it's great to see the stars all out in one place, but in terms of football, what's really great to see is a very entertaining Pro Bowl as we are tied in the 4th quarter.
And how many of these guys thought going into this game, after a pretty easy week heading into it, that the pressure would ratchet up now and someone has to make a play, which means someone will have a play made against them and they'll have to live with that for the rest of the year. And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Breeze going to throw. And he goes out right around the 39. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at it, and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
He was brought down by Xavier Howard of Miami.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Well, the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
That was a nicely run slant route.
And, oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The drive will start with Connor. We'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the AFC with the football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. On first down, Connor. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. I'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. On second down, it's Connor. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. So, Charles, final thoughts on this AFC victory?
Bottom line, nobody appeared to be seriously hurt. That's the first thing we look for.